Dancing into Take 3. That's the title right there. All right. And welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Too Much Intimacy. I'm Jester. She's Phoebe, and this is a little bit of our pillow talk. Welcome in. You were dancing earlier. You're just doing a dance.
Yeah, this is take 3.
So
we tried take 1, and I needed to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
We
got a good 10 minutes in too.
I needed a little pep talk. I needed a little movement.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a little prayer.
Yeah.
And then we started again, and it was starting great, and we weren't recording, so we are back.
Classic podcast mistake. Third time's the charm. You guys are getting third attempt. You guys are getting sloppy thirds. Yeah, welcome into episode 12. Thanks for hanging out.
Good job. You made it back.
Yeah.
So, we're not doing the clap anymore.
No more clap. We don't have the clap anymore.
We are progressing through very quickly. Do you think that, I feel like right now on our spiritual path, we're progressing at lightning speed?
Yeah, way too fast.
What do you think about our podcasting now? I feel like it feels like in comparison, we really don't try as hard.
Well, I mean, that's part of the beauty of it is the podcast is part of the spiritual life. You know, it's we come in, we're just it's a space to try to be as genuinely ourselves, authentically ourselves as possible, you know, and do it in front of people. Excuse me. That's something that's been kind of really resonating with me today. I have a Substack, and yeah, I'm going to talk about my Substack.
I don't know if you've heard.
I don't know if you've heard, but I have a Substack. So I have a Substack. It's called I Don't Know, An Agnostic's Adventure in Subjective Reality. And I sent one of my essays to my favorite news publication, Tangle News, and it got published. It got published today. And I'm really amazed. Now, we have more. I have more followers, and 2 or 3 people, total strangers. I mean, she was already a paid subscriber, but now I've got 5 or 6 paid subscribers, paying $5 a month to
That's so cool, babe.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So now I'm okay, well, now I have to. Previously, the only people behind the paywall were you and my friend Lauren. Who was the OG subscriber besides you. So it didn't feel like I had to do anything. But now that subscribers are there and have given me money, I'm I think I need to add a little bit of content.
Well, can I just say something about this?
Yeah.
As someone who has pledged and paid on people's Substacks, who currently pays on people's Substacks and Patreons, or people who create artistic, creative content, whatever, that I resonate with, I feel I know that people do the incentives for money. They'll be oh, you get an extra offering, or they want to, I think they want to give something back, or they want to give people a reason to pay, you know, if you have a free offering,
right,
that just anyone can get. But I just want to say that for the people who I pay for, there are a good amount, I don't know, I guess maybe it's 50-50, but I feel half of them I would pay even if the content was the same.
You're saying their paywalled content doesn't add very much?
No, I guess I'm lying. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying.
No, it's okay. I think I understand the sentiment. I think the sentiment is people are sending money energetically to support me as an artist.
Yes, exactly. Because I have done that to people before, and I feel good about it. Actually, now that I'm thinking it through, I'm I don't do it that often, but when I do it, it makes me feel like I'm a part of something, you know? Mm-hmm. So I am happy to pay that money. And also, when I became a paid subscriber to your Substack, there was no it was just if you want to, the way it's phrased, it's if you want to support my work, you can pay money. It wasn't hey, I have this whole secret party you could come to if you pay.
Well,
you know?
The interesting thing about being on the publication side of Substack is the default is paid. Like if I'm not paying attention, it only sends to paid subscribers. So the business model for Substack is to get paid subscribers, is to get people paying to subscribe more. So they did a good job seducing you into paying for my thing. But now I feel like I have to, I have to make it worth it because there's some strangers doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd be curious to know what other people think. Like, do you pay for anyone's Substack right now?
I don't pay for anyone's Substacks. I haven't been a huge subscription person, to be honest.
Oh.
I have a subscription to Tangle. I have a subscription to Church of Chill. I think that might be it. I have paid for Dan Carlin's one-off I've gone back and I've paid for all of Hardcore History, although that's not an active subscription. That was like buying his library. And I think that's it. I stay behind I stay in front of the paywall most of the time.
I see. I see.
But no, I think I'm taking it as just like a challenge. And like if it doesn't go well, like if I don't do it, it's fine. But I think it's a signal from the universe that it's time for me to see if I can level up.
That makes sense.
So yeah, because it's really interesting. I feel like I got all these new eyeballs on me from Tangle, and now I have like, all right, a few of them have even paid money, but even the ones who haven't paid, I feel like I've got a week or two to keep their attention, and so like I'm trying to bring my best self the next couple of weeks, whether I do something behind the paywall or not. Paywall's not important. I feel like I'm kind of like auditioning for these people, for a little time slot in these people's week, and that's such an honor. And I just want to bring my best self to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I respect that.
Yeah. You know what else I like to bring my best self to?
What?
Dancing. You didn't like that transition?
You want to talk about dancing now?
I want to talk about, I feel like one of the topics we can talk about is the dance party we went to.
Yeah, the mushroom dance party?
Yeah, the mushroom dance party.
Okay.
So did you have fun?
I had a great time. I feel like I haven't really been to many dance parties. Like, when I say dance party, like, I don't really consider just, like, going to, I don't know, a club or a restaurant where there's music and just dancing. It's, like, the same as going to a dance club, being at a dance party. I feel like, I have a high standard of dance parties.
Okay.
And I think I've only had one other dance party now that I think of it.
What was the other
that I
dance
can
party?
recall that was memorable? It was me and my now business partner, Miss JBT.
Miss JBT. What's up, JBT?
It was me and her and one of our friends at the time, who's really cool. He was like one of my first actor friends. And it was like late at night in my old apartment. My ex was there. He was passed out on a weed edible though, but in the same room because it was a studio apartment. So he was on the couch sleeping, but he could hear us, and we were just in the kitchen, like right next to the couch because it's all right there, playing Future Islands.
Great band.
And just like dancing like maniacs and like laughing hysterically, like getting props and like, just being just crazy.
You're just being played by the spirit of the music.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what last night felt like. That's exactly what a dance party is.
Yeah.
Being played by the spirit of the music.
Yeah.
And you have to commit and be like, I'm going to respect this music and become a disciple of the beat.
A disciple of the beat. That's right. You're going to worship at the altar of the music and become a disciple of the beat. That's good stuff.
Yeah. I feel like it's a noble job.
It is. You know what I kind of discovered at that dance party? I discovered the spirit of the juggle. So we were on mushrooms and listening to music and dancing, and there were juggling balls, and so I started juggling, and the cool thing about juggling is when you lock in and you're just locked in. You know, it's like your body goes on machine mode.
Yeah. Do you think that's why people become obsessed with juggling?
Yes. I seriously I'm ordering juggling balls and I'm worshiping at the altar of the juggle. Like I am forever in pursuit of the spirit of the juggle. It's like a chasing the dragon thing.
Yeah,
So,
you have always felt like this, or this has just been sparked from this?
It's been sparked from this last encounter with the juggle spirit. Yeah, it was really something. Just when you can when you can kind of separate yourself from the machine mode body.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, my body is doing something really not easy. And my mind is like just hanging out, trying to see. Let's see if I can
You can do that
talk.
for a while.
Not
I feel like
long.
if I started thinking, I would immediately drop the balls.
Not for long. And that's the thing. When there's just like a special little place where you don't think about it too much. It's very, very difficult. But when you're in the pocket and you're just like flowing, it's flow state. That's what it is. It's flow state.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm obsessed with juggling now.
Yeah, I think I feel that there's a part of me that is like craving and like pointing at me now of like, see all, like I know what the flow state feels like because I feel like I've gone there more recently, more regularly more recently.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's still like, hey, that's like tapping me on the shoulder. It's like, hey, yeah, now look at all these other areas of your life where you're like just dropping out,
Yeah.
not intentionally,
Dropping
but
out?
dropping out of the flow state.
Oh,
when you just let, it's so like, I feel like it feels very seductive for some reason. It's like watching a soap opera or something.
Yeah.
It's like probably why people like reality TV, like the drama. It's like if you, like I feel like I have the awareness now a lot of the time to like not go there, not like go into the drama of my mind of like, oh, but what about this? What about this? Worst case scenario? Was it this? And then you just like suddenly get like lost in this world of like your just like deepest, stupidest anxieties and
you go down the fear rabbit hole.
Worst
and, like,
fears.
You just set yourself up with a worry hurricane.
But it's,
a worry cane.
It's it's seductive, isn't it? Do you
so
feel that
seductive.
way?
Oh, absolutely. It's like when your thoughts get spinning, like it's not even that it's seductive. It's, for me, it's like that it happens with such intensity that like I'll wake up 5 minutes into it and be like, oh my God, I've just been shit talking myself for 5 minutes, And so the goal is like to try to catch it earlier and, and like keep it fewer and further between.
Yeah.
But it's super. It gets right in there.
You know what I will say? I feel like as I've gotten a little bit more balanced, I feel like these last couple of weeks I've been feeling like more regularly like steady and in with myself. I have been starting to crave that feeling more. Like I've become more familiar with this feeling like after I take a bath. The ritual of taking a bath. And I take a little shower first so I'm clean when I get into the bath. I put some Epsom salts in there. I go into the bath and I'll do a little like baby visualization, maybe a little toning or just, like tuning into how my body's feeling. It's like a whole thing. And then I get out and I'll like rinse off the salty water.
I hope you guys are all imagining this.
Oh my God, stop.
You little perverts.
I take a bath with a bathing suit on. Just kidding.
No, you don't. You walk around the house naked. We both walk around the house naked during shower time.
Are you done?
Sorry. I'm done. Keep telling us about your bath.
I'm just saying that there's a feeling that you get, like if anyone has done the like cold shower thing or like, what do they call it when the cold plunge? If you start integrating that, it's like you get, I don't know, there's just like serotonin, I guess, from tapping in and like deep relaxation and attentiveness to your body. Like I feel like you really heal yourself and like rebalance your nervous system.
Yeah. I feel like our nervous systems have been through a lot this weekend, though. You know what you're not going to be doing for the next couple of days?
What? Showering at home?
Taking a bath, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so our water went out today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Our water went out. It's been a wild day. So the day started with me finding out that my piece had been published in Tangle, and that all of a sudden I had more subscribers and a couple paying
and
subscribers.
your like dad became a subscriber.
My dad subscribed.
And your aunt became a
paid
subscriber. And you talk about like there's some racy stuff on there.
Yeah, I don't fuck around on that Substack.
It's like definitely R-rated, I would say.
The last piece is called 5 Things I Don't Know from the High Holidays, and the piece before that is what was it? The Grand Central Crossfade. So like there's a lot of drug content.
Sex worker content.
Oh yeah, there's a series of stories about sex workers.
It's pretty spicy.
Which do you think is it is very spicy. Which do you think is more vulnerable? My like fiction or my nonfiction?
I think I think the fiction is.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's true. You really get into the...
Well, because it's a different... I think that I personally as a human can really relate and connect to your personal stories, the nonfiction stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the fiction, because it's so... It's like so insanely imaginative and creative. It's like... personal in a way of like I feel like it gets into your psyche of how your brain works, and it's like whoa, that's cool.
Wow,
that's dirty, like whoa, like that's weird.
Dude, all these people have come over to... I'm a little nervous. You're right, I have to figure out how to introduce myself to them. All these people have come over from like a politics newsletter and podcast, and yeah, I talk about politics and news and whatnot sometimes, but like I also like write softcore porn. You know, it's kind of smutty. It's like fantasy and sci-fi, and it doesn't shy away from the sex and the drugs and the alcohol. Yeah,
I just want to say about the getting subscribers thing, because I feel like something in your brain, like a little thing, I can see how it would switch.
Yeah, something hits.
When that happens.
Something is shaking
when
loose.
When you get paid subscribers that are people who you don't know.
Yeah.
And I want to just say that of people that I have listened to who are like really big content creators who like talk about the process of like growing a following or whatever, like growing an audience, they're like, oh yeah, like you get a big spike, and then, you know, so you realize that certain things you do, like you lose people, and it's like interesting to see the patterns, and you can get in your head about it. And the philosophy that personally that I like, that the take that I've heard some people have, is that they're like good when they lose a bunch.
1,000%.
They're like good because it means that I am doing something that is so authentically me. It's like
that it's turning some people off.
It's turning, because you don't want to be attracting everyone. You want to be like attracting your people.
If you wanted to attract everyone, you should like go run for office or something. If you're trying to, don't do that.
Was that a joke?
That was a joke.
Okay.
Couldn't you tell? Wasn't it hilarious? No, if you're, that's totally true. So I'm really looking forward to, like, I don't know what my next piece is going to be. I've been trying to make it, today to make it like welcoming people and letting them know. But what it was going to be before that was it was going to be this fantasy piece called Exit of the Poor. And so I'm like, I'll be showing off my range. I don't know.
Can I say something? I have an opinion.
Please.
You can reject it, obviously.
No.
My opinion is I think you should just stay focused on putting out your incredible work and not worry about making a grand statement to these people who are just there to see your work.
Yeah, you're right. I got all in my head about it today.
It's okay.
It threw me for a tizzy.
I think it's part of the process.
Ooh, yeah, part of the process.
I also don't want to take away your autonomy of going through your process, but I do feel strongly that you should I feel so just so excited about everything that you're writing. I don't want anything to slow you down. I feel like you're really onto something.
Yeah.
And don't fucking worry about anyone's eyeballs.
Yeah.
You're doing amazing with only the eyeballs of a couple of people who you know.
True. It's true. It's very true. And I kind of got the sense, like, yesterday when we were at the dance party with Sean and Cass from the Church of Chill podcast. And he was, they were playing their new speaker, and Sean was taking us through his new playlist, and we were in the spirit of the dance and the spirit of the juggle. It really felt like I was like on the ground floor of something, like.
Oh my God. I don't want to like get too deep into it, right? I don't want to get too deep into it. Well, not too deep into it. I don't want to speak too much about something that feels fresh. Not fresh,
no,
but for me, the way I'm experiencing it feels very fresh and new, and I want to be tender with those fresh and new things. But I just will say, the experience that I had physically, physically, it was like a lived experience. I was in something.
Yeah.
I was like, a new religion is being born. That's what it felt
I'm serious.
like.
That's
what it felt
like. It does feel like that. And like I'm super interested to see whatever this is grow, because Sean has started using the language of religion. He said,
"Are you serious?"
He said,
"Are we allowed to talk about that?"
He puts it on his podcast.
Okay.
He said, like, I am Church of Chill is like, he's religious about the vibes. He does everything he can to not let the vibes, go. I don't know how to describe it. I'll have to explore with him. I want to explore with him, like, what are the vibes that you're trying to cultivate and what are the vibes that you're trying to ignore, or if you're just trying to be in whatever vibe is in the moment. So, like, I'm really looking forward to those conversations because, something special's going on. The world's changing.
The world is definitely changing, which feels really bizarre because I see it happening for me. I see the world changing in a really positive way. Like, I see it opening up like a flower.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I'm aware that, like, some, like, scary stuff is happening out there. Like, not to even, like, put too much of my energy in it now, but, like, I don't know. It's just wild. It's just.
What kind of crazy stuff are you talking about? Like politics and
I'm talking about scary stuff of, like, people losing their freedom, like people getting deported with no due process, and people who are citizens.
Yeah.
Who are, people who were born here, and I really don't want to go into the details of it, but I guess it does give a certain kind of, like, sharpening to this new, like, mentality that I feel like has seeped into me in a new way.
Yeah.
Which is, like, it does kind of feel, I don't want to say, like, life or death, because it doesn't have a panicky energy to me, but, like, I feel more and more like lately I've felt closer to death, if that makes sense, or like of the preciousness of my life, with, like, my parents getting older,
the fragility of everything.
Yeah, like my dad retiring. It's like life moves forward, and, like, I am 35 years old right now. Like, I don't want to say that, but, like, maybe I'm halfway through my life. If you think of that, it's like this time is so precious. I think that is one thing that has been echoed back to me a couple of times from people close to me, which is, like, time is the most precious thing that we have, and you just don't know how much time you have. And so, like, if heaven on earth is accessible to you, it feels urgent to, like, feel the pleasures of the earthly heaven that this experience is.
It's so true. That was, like, one of the first big things. It's been a theme anytime I do psychedelics, is, like, immediately, one of the first sensations is that I feel so grateful for my body, and it feels so good to breathe in air and to drink water and just to do the simple things of human life, you know?
Yeah, it's
Um,
true.
and yeah, it's like the chop wood carrying water thing. Like we now have to carry water down the hill from our neighbors to flush our toilets, which is fun. Because our water went out. And yeah, so we're figuring that out. We're going to be without running water for the next couple of days. And so we're going to like go to our neighbors like a good neighbor. We have great neighbors, which is such a blessing. You know, so many people don't even know their neighbors. Guess what? If you have neighbors, just go talk to them. It's good to know who you live next to, because you're going to have to borrow things like running water sometimes. So we have to like,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
yeah.
You don't know what you got till it's gone,
You don't.
baby.
It's true. It's so true. I can't remember if I already did this on this take or if this was take 2, but I'm talking about the like chopping wood carrying water thing again. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So we have to like go. Now we're going to our neighbors up. We're walking up a little hill to our neighbors to fill up 4 2.5-gallon buckets. You know, so that we can flush our thing. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of times, especially if I was depressed, I would be like, oh, this is so awful. This is such a bummer. Oh my God, it's so bad. But now, like, we have been in this space, and you really have been pushing us to stay in this space of finding the positive in it. And so my positive in that is
Stepping away from the should.
stepping away from the should. Remember the should tax?
Yeah.
We tax ourselves on the word should.
The should tax.
The should tax. The should tax is gonna help you relax. Okay. I'm sorry, I just had to get that one out.
Okay.
Anyway, so the thing I'm feeling optimistic about, the best case scenario for me, like, yes, that's the should tax. If you say the word should, you are taxed, and what you must give is you must give yourself the best version of the situation that you have found yourself in.
You must force yourself to take a moment to imagine a best case scenario that will happen with the current circumstance that you are in.
Yeah. Yeah, the current circumstance that you are
Not
in,
the
that you have chosen.
not any other potential one that could have been.
Yeah.
The current one.
Just
think about that one.
this one. And what's the best outcome?
Get creative with it.
Get creative with it. So my best outcome is not particularly creative, but I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to get in really good shape doing this carry water thing.
That's a great outcome.
And I'm going to have to, like, can't shower, and I have a big business meeting tomorrow, a big work meeting tomorrow, a big business meeting. So I didn't get to shave today because we ran out of water. And so I'm going to have to go to the gym tomorrow and shave. And you know what? That just means I'm going to have to go to the gym tomorrow. So I guess I'm getting in good shape now.
Pump some iron?
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to pump any iron. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I might do...
Even if you just go and, like, sit in the sauna.
Yeah, maybe I'll just go sit in the sauna.
Sit in the steam room.
That's a good idea. How's Bubs doing?
He looks so adorable. He's like become one with Lamb Chop. They're cuddling like they're good friends.
Is he purring?
I don't know.
We could have a little Bubs purr intermission. I bet we can get the purr engine going.
Don't force him. Don't force him.
I'm sorry, Bubs. I'm sorry.
We apologize.
I was
Bubs.
greedy. I was trying to force a Bubs purr intermission. I think that's a good way to break up the segments of this podcast. If we can get one of the cats to purr. Just palate cleanse.
Yeah, should we discuss it a little more?
Yeah, let's analyze
Transitions.
it a little more. Yeah. You don't really, I'm more of an analytical mind, and I will, like...
I like an awkward transition.
You do?
Yeah. Let's make it awkward. Let's get fucking real.
You know what we could do to make it even more awkward?
What?
We could smoke weed again.
No, but I just wanted to use my favorite R word. No, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to see what your reaction would be.
No.
Yeah.
I kind of already lost the train of thought.
What the train of thought that we were on previously?
Yeah, I feel like I was very passionate about what we were talking about, and I
Well-
don't know that I really got to my final point about it.
Okay, what were we talking about? We were talking about Sean and Cass and the dance party, and
We were talking about creating the most beautiful moment for yourself.
that's right. We were talking about the should tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, like, why would you choose anything else? Why would you choose to focus on what you don't want to happen?
The cheese tax.
The cheese tax.
That's what I realized that tune was from.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Your nephew played it for us, and it was very obnoxious. I'm sorry, I don't know why I just interrupted with the cheese tax.
No, it's
song.
all right. I think that was a great transition.
That's like that's the one I learned from you.
The cheese tax?
No, that kind of transition when you just throw yourself under the bus.
Yeah. That is a classic. That's
Classic you.
That's classic me. Self-deprecation is my emergency pull.
What
It's
is the
my
word?
parachute.
Oh my gosh. I guess it's good to have seen you do it so many times because you've showed me that you won't die if you do that.
Yeah.
It's a kind of death. It's like a fake death. It's like a video game death. But you think in your mind when you grow up in the culture, you're like, it's actual death.
Yeah.
Social suicide. And then you're like, doesn't exist, baby.
It doesn't exist. Yeah, that's it's taken a while to get to cuz sometimes you pull the pull the self-deprecation grenade and sometimes it'll land fine, sometimes it won't land fine, but then sometimes it'll land weird inside your own self. You'll really self-deprecate a little too deeply that the next day you're just like, man, I really am a piece of shit, aren't I?
Yeah, I feel like you take it to the next level, the self-deprecation.
Yeah.
And some of your friends, too. I'm like,
It's
whoa. Well, I guess that's kind of what, stand-up comedians do, too.
Yeah. I feel like in the arts, film, comedy world, people are real self-deprecating.
What do you think? I know that there probably is some kind of, spiritual... I assume there's some kind of spiritual beauty there.
Yeah.
Because I respect stand-up comedy as, an art form and a way of expression.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't enjoy it. So maybe you can explain to me.
I feel this is kind of the thought that I had. I was reading, I don't know if I told you about this, but I found my old college classmate. Her name is Tiffany App, and she has a fashion blog. And she had a really interesting headline. I can't remember what it was, but I read it and I was like, oh, she's got that voice where she's strong and confident, but also throws in some self-deprecation. And how it lands to me is that people who are kind of intense and confident and speaking sure of themselves, the self-deprecation is a way of softening that without losing the strength or the power that comes with the confidence to go get 'em energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's for me. I think a lot of people who have big, strong personalities and a lot of confidence, or they get on the train, kind of like I do. The self-deprecation is like a safety brake.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm curious about is what is the purpose of the complete annihilation of yourself through self-deprecation?
Well, that's just something I'm working out with my therapist, so I don't have a good answer for you. Yeah, that's a learned behavior. I think it's well, for me, if we're going real deep, I have always used humor as a defense mechanism and an escape mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
And I have dealt with suicidal thoughts since I was probably around 13 or 14.
Mm.
And it sucks. And Wait, what was I just got distracted by the suicide? What was the question?
I don't know. You were talking about the self-deprecation.
Oh yeah. Okay. So humor was the safety. It was what I could kind of like run away to, and I think I don't know how I'm making this connection, but like basically there's a little guy inside me that's trying to kill me at all times, and it's like
Oh,
that's what depression
shit.
feels like. There's just a little fucking guy inside me that's trying to get me to kill myself, and it's what it is that person inside of me is afraid of change. It's afraid of the next thing. It's afraid that something is going to happen and I won't have running water all of a sudden. So it's just like, you know what the easiest thing to do in this situation is? Kill yourself, just like go to sleep. This is like, how I just love taking naps?
Yes.
That dude inside me is just like, wouldn't it be nice if you just took a forever nap and you didn't ever have to deal with work stress or, water going out or, heat going out or anything ever again? It's very seductive. So the self-deprecation is related to that. It comes out of that. So that's what the Annihilator is trying to do. He's trying to kill me.
Whoa, babe! I've never heard depression described like that before.
Oh, really? Yeah, it sucks. It's no fun. I guess I've described it to like that to myself and to Bamis. I feel like that's like really.
That's deep stuff. That's deep. That's dark stuff.
Yeah, that's like therapy talk.
Yeah.
Welcome to therapy, guys.
Do you talk about that in therapy?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
If you got suicidal thoughts, you're kind of required to talk about them in therapy. If you don't talk about them, then you got a little bit of a issue on your hands.
I feel like for me, when I've had suicidal thoughts, it's like it's just because everything hurts so much. Is that what you mean? Is it like that? Everything hurts. Everything hurts so much that, and I just like can't find a way to stop it, the hurting. So I think that's how it feels for me.
Yeah. Well, it's no fun.
Sorry, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this. It's kind of a downer. People
It's all right.
probably don't want to hear about this.
I think if they're 38 minutes into this episode, they like us enough to stick around.
I thought you were gonna say like, I think the 38-year-old person, which could be like our mean audience age. I think if you're 38 years old, you're familiar with these thoughts.
You've had a couple of depressive episodes if you've gotten to your mid to late 30s. If you haven't, go fuck yourself. Right? Yeah, it's. I think it's the millennial experience to just have your entire world change drastically, and we're just kind of all afraid. Like, what's the next thing that's gonna shake?
Do you think the millennials are more fearful than other generations, after us? I feel
No, I don't.
I feel like we all have about the same level of anxiety.
Yeah, it's true. I was just trying to show off how millennial I am because I think millennials are the most interesting generation in history.
Really?
Yeah. I genuinely think that millennials are the most interesting generation in history and maybe in the future of history too. Because we're the last ones, we're basically the last ones that were born in the pre-bionic world.
Mm.
I'm not saying there's going to be full bionacy by the time I die, but kids are getting cell phones and iPads at birth. They're coming out of vaginas with these fucking pieces of technology. Literally, people are getting it's being tested now, but literally people are getting chips put in their brain. We are on the bionic
What are they
route.
getting chips in their brain for?
Ask Elon Musk. Right now it's being used to repair brain damage to help. I think one thing is I think the theory is if you can stimulate the brain, you'll be able to get a paralyzed person to walk again. Doing real Jesus type stuff with technology.
Mm.
It's interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But we grew I was born in 1986 when the hair was terrible, and the cell phones were huge, and there was this thing, this genre of music that is super secret. But it's just the world has changed so much, and we've seen so much of it change. And I used to think like, oh, think about our grandparents. It was pre-World War One, or World War One. It was like they saw World War II, and they also saw the internet, and that's massive. But like, we're getting AI, we're getting cryptocurrency.
AI is crazy.
We're getting like, who knows how fast, how crazy it's going to be in the next 10, 20 years. It's not predictable. So that's why I think we're the most interesting generation. Because there's definitely going to be a world war by the time we end, by the time we die. So we'll have one of those too. Fun thought, huh?
I don't think I want that.
I don't either. We can still avoid it. We are always.
I think we should scrub that. I don't.
Scrub that from history. All right, guys. No more World War III. It's not happening.
We're gonna just time travel back. to
No World War III. It's not happening. I do think we'll actually avoid World War III.
Okay, that's good.
Or at least the nuclear version of it.
That's good. I hope you're right.
I hope so too. Anyway, do you want to talk about politics now?
No, not really. I feel like I know it's tough out there, but I am fighting for my life in here.
Yeah.
And when I say fighting for my life, I don't mean like I'm drowning. I mean like I'm in a beautiful paradise.
Yeah.
With a lot of interesting and introspective people in my life, and I just started learning more deeply about the magic of being a human, which is that we are magical creators and we just manifest things by thinking about them, and I'm like, there's a lot of bad stuff out there, so maybe I should focus on
the good stuff,
being the best me that I can be, so I can make some magical shit happen.
Your fully authentic self.
Yeah.
You
I hope
are
so.
making some magical shit happen, babe.
I mean, good things are happening.
Good things are happening. And you guys are a really big part of those good things. You guys, you right in the camera there. We're looking at you. Seriously, this podcast has given us, I think it's given us a space to engage with each other in a new way, get to know new parts of our personality. We've been together for 7 years now, and it's like you think you know everything, and then you get to see this whole new side of your partner when you put the camera on them, and like you're kind of learning a new skill, it feels like to me, like being in front of the camera, being a public figure type person. And you're dealing with me, and I'm a lunatic, so you're really going through the blender, and it's really fascinating to watch. It's really fun.
I feel a little like we come into this womb space, and I feel like we just come in here and we touch each other spiritually.
We touch each other spiritually.
We're like, our souls are like, ooh,
yeah,
what's going on over there?
They're getting jiggy with it. Well, considering we're at about 45 minutes almost, and we've already recorded about half of one of these, and we don't have any water, and we're exhausted, and you can hear it in my voice. I think it's
night time.
I think it's night time. Why don't we go say goodbye to our dear friends?
Okay.
All right. Can we land the plane?
We can definitely land this plane.
Outros have been a little disastrous so far, so we're going to see how this one happens.
They have been. It's been a wonderful experimental public explosion.
All right, kids, and what you got for us?
Okay, the outro is to close your eyes and
Close your eyes.
And go to sleep.
And go to sleep.
In your deep little soul.
In your deep little soul. That's right, folks. You heard it first. Close your eyes. Go to sleep. Deep little soul. Thanks for tuning in to Too Much Intimacy with Phoebe and Jester. We'll see you next time.